Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 3G Theater, where the magic of the silver screen meets the charm of Fallout. Broadcasting to you from the heart of Charleston. We're here to take you on a delightful journey. Now let's meet our hosts.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back. I hope that you had a great holiday yesterday. And yeah, we are back. We've got another traditional top five going down right now. And, well, without further ado, let's get into it. First up, we have Atomic Punk 24. Now, the Atomic Punk, very smart on this build. Clearly, it is a very Raider-ish theme, which, that's good. You know, right off the bat, we know that this is going to be scrappy, Raider-ish. We have a storyline, a theme, you know, and he sticks to that very well. Very, very smart use of the location, because guys, gals, we have very limited budget here in this game, you know, and that part sucks for us as builders, because God knows that if we had unlimited budget, we'd just fill out the entire freaking wasteland. But, you know, obviously servers can't handle that. So this is really, really smart. He used a pre-existing location. It's got a Raider windmill. The quality's really good. You know, always pay attention. Make sure that you don't have floating items. Try to avoid clipping issues when you have multiple things pushed together. You know, you got to be real careful about that. And this is really smart. You know, he's got some clipping issues with that cabinetry right there. And it's partly because this is a pre-existing location, so he's limited, obviously, by that, you know. Can't move the pre-existing location. But that was really smart. That pre-existing car right there, he stuffed some plants in there, and, you know, it's a nice little display for his plant life. But this is very, very well done. And again, pre-existing location, so you're getting all this stuff inside your camp and it's not taking up the budget, so that's very, very smart. But great job, man. You stuck to the theme. It looks well done. It tells the story that yes, this is a raidery camp. I like it. A couple of floating things when I was going through here and seeing things, you know, but it's really it's hard to avoid, you know, and we're all going to miss something sooner or later, because Atomic Punk's always doing a really good job with their stuff. But I like this. I like the layout of it. And again, you know, I can't emphasize enough that, especially if you're doing something that's lore friendly, try to find some in-game items, you know, in-game locations that you can utilize that stuff, because that's free decoration that doesn't add to your budget. But this is really well done. I like it. Very nice. I've seen quite a few builds here at this location, and this is one of the better ones for sure. For sure. And of course, Atomic Punk, great with the lighting. You know, and I like that a lot of you are doing that. You're showing it during the daytime and you're showing it at night. That way we can see how you used your lighting, how it was laid out. Very, very good. Very good. But yeah, I love this build. I love it. Definitely a very, very good job, sir. And I hope to see a lot more from you, you know. You're one of them that's always submitting, and I love seeing that. Next up, we have 1 past 5. And finally, we get a nice clean build to look at. Guys, I'm not against clean builds at all. It's just not my preferred building style personally, you know. I like to keep things lore friendly, but I love seeing these clean builds, you know. It's inspiring, gives me ideas too. Everything's nicely laid out. It makes sense. Again, sticking to a theme, you know. You got the open wall concept. It's very nice. It adds the illusion that there's additional room. I love these angled walls. I see a lot of this happening in clean builds, and I love the way that you guys are doing that stuff. It's very nice. But overall, I mean, this is a really, really nice build. And, thank God with the new building system and everything, it is a heck of a lot easier if you want to make TVs, things like that. Because before, what you ended up having to do was make special blueprints. That way you could flip an item around to use the back of it for a screen. And hey, you don't have to do any of that anymore. Now it's super simple. Just face your painting the other way and slap it up on the wall. Maybe go get a neon light so it looks like it has a power button. I love this too. So even though it is a clean build, you still have a place for all your workbenches and everything, which makes it a functional camp and not just a, strictly piece of artwork. Very nice. I'm digging it. Yeah, this is really nice. And I like the lighting out front there at the bottom of the porch. Yeah, look there, the bottom of that porch. Right? Ooh, that's nice. Very well done. And then we have the Bubble of Doom. This one was really, really super creative. I am impressed. Not that Bubble of Doom finally did something creative, because that would be a stupid comment. Everything that he does is extremely creative. But he did this Skyrim kind of theme. Obviously, the music, the aesthetic. And again, guys, he picked a theme, it tells a story, and he stuck to it, which, great job. Great job. It's not overly crowded or anything like that, which is kind of what makes it convincing that it could be a part of Skyrim. I'm digging it. It's not an overly complicated build. It's just really, really well done, and it tells a story. Because you could actually put this in Skyrim, and it would look like, relatively, that it would fit into the game. Very cool. If you do get a chance, though, I highly recommend checking out the original video. And, obviously, we're limited with time here. But the original video, it is very, very long. And part of that is because he was showing combat and all kinds of things. He's running a mod that shows your health bars and stuff that look like Skyrim. It was a really, really cool compilation that he did. I love these stairs. The one thing that I will point out, though, is that some of them, there are gaps between them. Vertically, not horizontally. Horizontally, that spiral looks really, really dang amazing. But as you go up here, you can see that some of the stairs, there's a tiny little gap. The big thing with stairs for me is that they're functional. When you start making handmade stairs like that, as you walk up, sometimes your character will trip over things, so you got to be really careful when you're doing that. Moonlight Cowboy. You, sir. Boy, we have to have a talk about this. I believe that this is going to be the most popular spot to build in the new region. But Moonlight Cowboy, he really stepped out of his comfort zone on this one. Obviously, he's very, very well known for his amazing tutorials and his clean builds. He went completely out of the realm of that he is used to. And, you're probably saying, hey, why aren't you talking about like floating objects and stuff? Well, it's Moonlight. You don't have to. But he went out of his way, picked a style that he normally doesn't do, and it came out really, really good, man. This is impressive. I like it. And I do that occasionally, too. I like to do a clean build occasionally, step out of my comfort zone. This kitchen is beautiful. But, we all need to do that occasionally because it helps us learn, guys. It helps us get better, trying different things. I love the cabinetry in here, though. This is really, really good. And he somehow managed to get clean stuff in there, too. It's like, I'm not having a dirty bathroom. This is really cool. but very well laid out. It tells a story. Everything makes sense. The layout of it, when you look at it, it looks nice aesthetically. And of course, lighting, you know, amazing job, Moonlight. Now we have Ren. Ren is a very unique builder. He's been experimenting with a few different builds here lately, and I've had a really enjoyable time actually watching him go through the process. But this is an apartment complex, and it really does tell a story, even down to the music, that people are just trying to survive out there. And obviously, this is in the new region, but he did a phenomenal job actually making the building appearance look like it belonged in that area. He picked textures that are already being used again in that area, and that's what helps make it fit in so well. But even the interior, everything's decorated nicely. It's not crazy overdone because it is a big structure. The structure takes up a lot of budget. Not that it's insanely huge or anything, but he's got boarded up windows. He put bars on the walls, things like that to add that additional layer of texture, which again makes it convincing that it could be out here in this area. Very nice job, though. We fought in the dark against the evils of men, bruised knuckles and scars. He even took over this little bus stop area. It's very nice, though. And I got quiet there for a minute, and it's because I like this song. This is another thing that some of you guys are doing, and it could help or hinder, your storytelling aspect, depending on how you do it. But a lot of you guys are using AI to make music and things like that will match your theme or your camp. And, it's just an additional layer. And no, I don't base my judging on that stuff or anything. But you as a presenter, presenting it well and telling that story how you want it to be seen is absolutely important, Very nice job, though. It looks like an apartment that could be out there, and somebody's rebuilding it. Very cool. Excellent job, Ren. Excellent job. All right, now, here's the real question, though. Who do we think did it the best? And obviously, Ren didn't get to vote this time because he participated. So, let's get into the winners. And again, thank you guys for all the participation, and keep those entries rolling in. So, in 5th place, we have 1 past 5. And this was an amazing clean build. I really enjoyed seeing this. Your lighting was really, really well done, but you do have some floating object issues. There were some door handles there, Other than that, though, it is a really, really good job. You did very good. And I really enjoy the fact that you kept workbenches in there, even though it's a clean build. Great job. In 4th place, we have Ren. And Ren, he kept this extremely lore-friendly, realistic. There are so many subtle things on detail work that I went over there and looked. I said, nobody's going to see that. And he said, I don't care. I know it's there. I'm like, all right, well, I get that. But a lot of detail work, man. Very, very good job. In 3rd place, we have a Bubble of Doom with this awesome Skyrim build. And, this is really cool that you took an idea from a different game and then brought it into the Fallout universe. And I love that aspect of it. But this was really, really creative, very well done. A couple kind of points knocked off on the stairs. That staircase is insane, man. But, just there's a couple gaps here and there. But, let's tighten that up a little bit. This is beautiful, man. Beautiful job. In 2nd place, we have the Atomic Punk 24. Now, Atomic Punk, Amazing job. I love the use of a pre-existing location. That is a really smart way to kind of extend your decorating budget without it counting toward your budget. Great job, man. Love it. And in first place, I never thought I'd be saying this either. It would be Moonlight Cowboy with his Scrappy build. Yeah, Scrappy. I can't believe that. But I love this, man. The art style that you've created, it very, very well done. It's a combination of the use of like the steampunk kind of cyberpunk lighting techniques. Um, you do have some clean stuff mixed in there, and it's still a scrappy build. I mean, it's a conglomerate of a bunch of different styles, but it really came out looking good, man. I'm impressed. You know, great job. I love you guys. I want you to make sure that you keep your submissions rolling in. Definitely get over there, support some of these creators and stuff because they do a great job, guys, obviously. But get your submissions in. I love you. I will see you in the next one.